Hello guys, and welcome to another daily fix with me, Sean Paul Johnston, here in the SmallFries Unify studio. By the way, I've got some music playing in the background, so if it's too noisy, let me know or whatever. It's thought it'd be quite cool to cover up the video or whatever, because we've got a video behind us. As you can see, we're green screening the shit out of it. But anyway, it's looking quite cool, so I'm going to probably adjust that with different videos in the background relating to what we're talking about. As you can see in this one here, this is the Pimax 8K VR headset, which I'm going to be talking about a little bit today. I'm also going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch and how successful that has been since launch and what it means for the potential future for the console. So let's jump straight into it. The Pimax 8K VR headset. This is the world's first 8K commercial VR headset. There's a Kickstarter campaign up just now. Now their target was $200,000. It seemed quite a low target, but they've totally blown past that. I think they kind of blew past it within the first few hours, or the first few days anyway, and it's now sitting at over $1.2 million. And if you recall, back when the Oculus Rift, when the Rift was basically up in Kickstarter, I think that got just over $2 million. And look how much of a success that's went on to be. Obviously, Facebook bought the company for $2 billion. I think it was maybe even $4 billion, no, it was $2 billion. But anyway, they bought the company. Now this company's come in, Pimax, and they're making an 8K headset. Now, obviously with 8K, you're gonna have to have a supercomputer to run something like that. The way it works, I actually watched a video on Tested. I've told you guys before, I check out a lot of Tested, their videos, and they have got a thing that they focus on VR. And it's really interesting. Go and check it on their channel, and they talk about VR. They get hands-on with the stuff, so they've got much better access than I can ever get just now. But it's good for me to learn about some of these technologies that I won't get to see in person. And this is one of them, the Pimax. And the company's doing a couple of different versions. They've got a 5K one, and they've got the 8K one. Now the 8K one, it sounds like it's splitting it, so it's two 4K screens, one for each eye. But the big thing that I'm actually quite excited about is the fact that it's got a 200-degree field of view. Now you think about the current headsets, the Vive, the Rift, and the PlayStation VR, they're all between about 90, I think, or it's 100 and 110 degrees of field of view. Now, that's not too bad, and when you're playing the consoles, when you're playing those VR headsets, it's kind of what you expect. However, this one here has got almost double the field of view, and as a result, you kind of just get a much better peripheral vision. The only problem is, right now, to get that, because there's nothing 8K content-wise, it's kind of stretching it at the edges, and it means the image is kind of much clearer in the center, and so it stretches it towards the edge. So it's not like a really clean image, but it is at the outside of your field of view anyway, normally. So I think it's not going to affect it that much. Now the company is still, the Kickstarter's still running, it's still got 35 days to go. They've got loads of things they're planning for this headset. You'll see stuff running in the background here, but they've got things like, they've got glasses inserts, they've got the headphones, like the kind of ones that came out for the Mantis ones for the PlayStation VR. They've got fan systems that you can put on to keep the lenses cool. They were also talking about a sensor, a smell sensor that you can attach. And it looks like one of their Kickstarter goals to unlock is probably when it's $2 million. They've got one at 1,500,000, which is for the VR frame and cooling fan. And then they've got one that's got no target there, but that's probably what that's going to be. It's probably going to be the smelling module. So imagine you can get a 200-degree field of view, 8K essentially, 4K in each eye, but it's going to be 8K essentially for you. If you can get some of the software parts sorted out, and then you can add things like a smell sensor, it's going to be proper VR, full-on VR. Now it is still wired in. The 8K one, because it is using two 4K lenses, you do have to connect it up. I think it's DisplayPort that we're talking about. You do have to connect it up with two separate graphics cards. So you will have to have a beefy PC, and I think they were mentioning something like a 1080 Ti for being able to power it with the graphics. So, you know, it's something that's going to be out of the range of a lot of people. But the fact that the company's pushing this now, it looks like there's other companies that are starting to try and get matching with that as well. So that's pretty cool. Now, they've got a 5K one as well, but realistically, you know, I think if you're sitting there, you're going to back something like this for an extra $100, an extra couple $100, why wouldn't you go for the 8K one? There's obviously a little bit of a time delay, and when those ones become available. But that's really exciting on the VR front. The fact that we're starting to see, not even 4K, but we're starting to see 8K potential displays with this field of view. And I think what's also exciting about it is, you know, you kind of look like a hammerhead shark or something when you're wearing it, because it's much wider than the current ones. But it's not ridiculous. You know, I think there's a big push right now for augmented reality. Apple's got their iPhone 10 coming out, and they're talking about obviously augmented reality, and a lot of the other mobile makers are talking about that kind of stuff. The problem is, I still stick by what I said a little while ago on one of the podcasts. I still think we're going to have 3 distinct markets with a little bits of crossovers with them. So I still think we're going to still have our traditional 2D gaming, you know, like your PlayStation 4, Xbox One X, or Nintendo Switch, playing games like that, handheld as well. But you're going to have that sort of kind of normal market where people just play those games. You're going to have your VR segment where people want to be fully immersed, and I mean fully immersed, where you're totally secluded, like locked out for the outside world, and you're just in this games because it's such an intense and appealing, like, immersion experience. It's awesome, and I don't think augmented reality will ever come close to that. However, augmented reality has obviously got its benefits with things like you see in the Apple's app where you can pull up items in your house and check the size of your chair, and funny games and stuff like Pokemon Go or whatever. So that's still got its own sort of kind of demographic that will want that stuff. But I just think these are separate markets and they will all coexist, and then they'll cross over slightly. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the potential. Now, the second story, let's move on. Let us know, by the way, in the comments. I'm going to be reading your comments down below, so let me know what you think about the Pimax. If you haven't checked it out, I'm going to drop some links for that, so you can go and check it on Kickstarter. I'm not sponsored by it or anything like that, by the way. It's just something I'm interested in. It's quite cool. Anyway, the other thing I'm going to check is, or let you guys know about, is the fact that, I said this a while ago, and I'm going to try to be big-headed here, but I said right from the very start, if Nintendo gets their marketing right and their games right and their launch schedule right with the Switch, it could go on to be bigger than the Wii. And some people are saying, no, I'll not get nowhere near that, I'll never do as good, you know, I'll be struggling to actually match like the GameCube and stuff. It's looking like it's selling out all the time in Japan, it's selling out in different places across the world. The games are selling incredibly well. We're starting to get loads of third parties coming on board now. I say loads, but we're starting to get Doom, Wolfenstein 2 from Bethesda. We've got L.A. Noire from Rockstar. There's obviously rumours there now on NeoGAF. One of the guys who actually mentioned the L.A. Noire that ended up being true, he's hinted that, I say he's hinted, people have asked about getting Grand Theft Auto 5 on the Switch, and he said be patient, like he knows that it's coming or something. So it wouldn't surprise me, you know, that's like Rockstar's biggest selling game for a long time, and it's going to carry on selling amazingly well. And it was out on the PlayStation 3 and on the Xbox 360, so this could come to the Switch fairly easily, like I reckon. So there's a good chance we'll see that on the Switch, which is exciting because that's a big game. Even though it's an older game, it's a big game. We've also got games from, Rocket League. We've got games from, well, we've got Skyrim as well. We've got FIFA's just releasing now, I think tomorrow it releases. So we've got a lot of big games coming to the Switch, and that's before we even go into Nintendo's games. We've got Super Mario Odyssey coming out next month, October 27th, I think it is. We've just had Mario & Rabbids Kingdom Battle. We've got Xenoblade Chronicles 2. We've got Fire Emblem. We've got a bunch of other games. So it's jam-packed until the end of this year. In fact, there's something like 18 games, that's including indie titles, 18 games coming out this week alone. So I think Nintendo for this first year, even up until Christmas, you take that up until Christmas, that's like a good 8 months or whatever to Christmas time. Nintendo seems to have fixed the problem with getting third parties and gaming content in general on the platform. It's getting tons of indie games, it's starting to get third party support, and it's got some of Nintendo's best titles already on it. So it's looking increasingly positive for the console. And you know, I think the fact that Doom especially because that's coming out sooner, but Doom and L.A. Noire coming to the Switch shows that we can get these big AAA third party titles coming to the Switch, and they can be scaled down, yeah, graphically and taking off some bells and whistles, but they're good enough for a portable, and it'll be fine. It'll look great on that small screen. Obviously, when you dock it, you're going to lose maybe a little bit of resolution, or you're going to get a bump in resolution to 1080p or 900p, but you might lose some effects just to run it on the screen. But that's cool. I don't think people are bothered about that too much. What's exciting is the fact that we're coming into this Christmas period, and it's going to have sold about 5 to 7 million consoles worldwide, and that's going into the Christmas period. I think Mario Odyssey, it wouldn't surprise me if Nintendo's held back stock, and this is why we're seeing shortages in Japan, if they've held back stock for the Christmas period and for Super Mario Odyssey, because that's going to be their big title for Christmas, I think. Obviously we've got Xenoblade Chronicles in December, but I think Super Mario Odyssey is their big one. So if you think that the PlayStation 4, which the Switch is selling 3 times faster in Japan, the rate just now in its current sort of lifetime, if you think the PlayStation 4 sells about 5 million, I think it is, across the Christmas period, which is incredible when you think about it, why couldn't the Switch do that? So let's say the Switch even gets 2/3 of that. We're looking at the Switch having sold between 7 and 10 million, maybe even more, maybe even 12 million by the end of this year, not financial year, the end of this year. So going into April next year, the first year of Nintendo Switch's life, it's potentially going to have sold between 10 and 15 million consoles. And you know, there was rumours at the very start that the plan was Nintendo were going to be selling 20 million. They were like factoring in for that and trying to get production up to that scale, that level. That's actually looking like it was kind of close to the mark now, you know. If it gets 15 million, that's not far off. So pretty exciting. We've got loads of good, cool games from it. It's even actually like grabbing the attention of analysts. You know, we've heard Pachter and all that kind of stuff. Michael Pachter in the US, he normally slates Nintendo. He seems fairly positive about it. We also had another analyst, and this is statistical facts here, by the way. It's another analyst called Matt Piscatella. He's an industry analyst at the MPD Group, and he's basically said that the Switch physical software sales in the United States are currently on track to be Nintendo's biggest launch year since 1995. 1995, we're talking back N64 SNES time, you know, probably SNES time in fact, in 1995. So the fact that they're saying that, the analysts are kind of pulling up stats like this. We've heard Blockbuster or Game and the US one, GameStop I think it is, they've been talking about how it's like their fastest selling console, it's boosted all their sales. It's looking, like I said, it's looking increasingly positive. So if you've got a Switch, you must be pretty happy right now. I'm happy, you know, I've been modding things, checking things in it. I've got more games than I can ever play right now already. I'm struggling to catch up. If you're on the fence about getting a Switch, it's probably quite encouraging for you, because that's one of the things that held people back. Was it going to get games? Was it going to get content? Well, it is. It's getting all that stuff now, so there's no real excuse, unless you're waiting for something like Netflix and apps or a browser, or you're waiting for the virtual console. I think we're going to get that stuff. It's probably going to come at the end of this year, or we're probably going to get that kind of announcement next year in the January update. And it wouldn't surprise me if in January if they do a direct, which they have done for several years now, if they do a big like launch direct in January where they show off a bunch of these games, new third-party stuff, maybe even Grand Theft Auto 5, maybe we get to see stuff like Netflix, what you call it, maybe not HBO Go, but YouTube. We get a browser, an actual proper browser, no hacking through the Facebook app, a proper browser. There's every chance we're going to get all these things in the coming months, and we're going to have a bunch of amazing games, a bunch of cool apps, and that's it. It's feature complete for me. I'm not even bored about the virtual console, but then we've still got on top of that, we've got the online service. Let's see what that's like. If Nintendo pulls a Netflix for their gaming content, kind of like Game Pass that Xbox has got just now, if Nintendo pulls something like that and you're paying £20 a month, or £20 a year, sorry, and you're getting access to a couple of games each month from the virtual console, but you can pay a bit more and get all the games or something along those lines, that's it. It's going to sell tons. I think someone's saying it's on track to possibly even beat DS sales or 3DS sales. It must be DS sales at 150 million. It's on track for that. Now, I'm going to stick with what I said before. I think it's got every chance, if it carries on the way it's going and getting more titles, that it could beat Wii sales. So I'm talking about the 100 million sales. Now, this is just off figures. It means nothing in general. If you're enjoying your machine, that's what's important. But it's just exciting as a Nintendo fan, someone who's followed Nintendo for a few years. I obviously followed all the other consoles, but someone who's got the Nintendo Switch, who had the Nintendo Wii U, and the Wii, but seen the failure of the Wii U and it sort of kind of dying a death. It's nice to see Nintendo getting it a little bit better, a little bit more right this time. I think we're going these cycles with these companies. You know, Nintendo got a little bit cocky with the Wii and the DS, kind of dropped the ball a little bit. They've managed to pick up a bit with the 3DS, the Wii U was a bit of a failure, was a commercial failure, totally. But now they're kind of picking it back up and they've kind of been pushed into a corner, and now they've got something quite appealing. The thing with PlayStation right now is I think PlayStation is getting a little bit cocky. They've been on top this generation, kind of were behind a little bit with the Xbox last one, but they're on top this one, totally dominating with sales on the main consoles. But they're getting a little bit cocky with their cross-play stuff and everything. I know some people have said they shouldn't have to do that, but the fact is they are doing it, and they're blocking certain access. So I think we're going to see probably slowing down the sales of PlayStation over the next couple of years, especially when there's like rumours of new consoles coming out. I think they've kind of shot themselves in the foot with that. People are a little bit on the fence now about investing in these products. Anyway guys, again, drop me something in the comments below. Let me know what you're excited about the Switch. Have you been on the fence? Are you getting one? What are you looking forward to most? And I'll check out your comments. That's it for this video. Let me know what you think about the green screen, the thing in the background. Do you like this setup? Is it something you want me to carry on? Or do you want me to get some cool stuff behind me? I'm probably going to change this up, by the way. I'll probably do some streams here, some live ones here, and then I'll go over to the news section, which I'm still fitting just now, still getting set up. We'll have the shelving units with all the cool gadgets and gear and stuff in it. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, guys, that's it for this one. Remember, we're just a bunch of small fries trying to create big things. I hope you have a great evening. I'll see you tomorrow. It's Friday tomorrow. Yay! See you later. Bye.